My favorite people in the world. Let's please welcome Roman.
Hey guys, price of education. So when I first was thinking about that, I was like, oh, price, like money, because that's what we all think about. And, at least it's so much money on education, but then it's like, what's the real price of education? And the price of what we pay from spending the majority of our lives being told what to do and not questioning it. And I was just thinking about, like, when I was, you hear about, like, the kids, like, in high school or college who, like, they kind of burn out because they're studying so hard and they want to, like, get the best grades and want to impress their parents and get into a good school. I was that kid, but that was me in 3rd grade. I would lose sleep if I didn't do well on a test. If I got a B, I would cry. I cried a lot, though. The stuff I cried about was just not doing well enough. And it's like, why? And I meet people now who, like, cheated or didn't go to school, and we're in the same place. We're in the exact same fucking place. People who didn't go to college, same place, doesn't seem to fucking matter. And that's like, we just kind of, it's like, oh, it's what you do. You go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you're supposed to meet somebody and have a family and all this shit, which right now, it's like, things seem to make the most sense when I do what I'm not told. And it's freaking the shit out of me, because it's like, going with my gut means to ignore so much of what I've learned. And then you think about, like, all these things that we're told, and, like, I think about, like, advice I get from friends, right? So say, I'm gonna act like a 14-year-old, because I kind of am. Like, say, oh, I like somebody, right? And I was talking to 2 friends about what should I do, because I can't think for myself. And one friend is like, says I like this dude or whatever, and or whatever. And one friend is like, oh, but Roman, you're transitioning right now. Put your attention to yourself. Put the cock on the side. Don't worry about that. And another friend says, oh, well, if you like him, then call him. Fair enough. And this is like 2 opinions from 2 people who I trust, who I love, who I know care about me, and they're both telling me to do 2 different things. So people I love are telling me to do 2 different things. What about the people who don't know me? And what about people who don't care about me? And of course, I'm thinking more about the people who are just telling us to buy products and stuff like that. Not that I'm going to make this into like an anti-capitalist rant like I normally do, but it's beneath it anyway. But so often we're just told, we don't question shit. We're just told we should do things because it should be better. But if even people who love us are telling us to do conflicting things, then who do we listen to? And which direction do we go? And I was thinking about, like, high school, and my school district did not have a lot of money. And so I couldn't really take an art class until my senior year of high school, and by then I was like done. I realized I was queer, and I was like, I'd done this whole cutting thing. I was like, alright, I'm here. I can take art, awesome, now I can get my shit out for like an hour a day. That'll really help out, right? It was awesome, so I gotta take a lot of science classes. That's great. I don't know shit about science. I still don't know anything about science. I inject myself with testosterone once a fucking week. I read the pamphlets, the doctor's talking about it. I don't know what the fuck it's about. I'm fucking wings, man. I'm like, whatever, dude, I'll take your word for it. I don't care about science. Not that I don't care about it, I'm just not that interested in it. But I had to study it a lot when I was a kid. In chemistry, I don't know anything about chemistry. I was falling for straight women and gay men. And now that makes sense because I'm a dude. Chemistry? I don't get it. Alright, that's a side note. But chemistry class, I didn't understand it, so I had to do as much extra credit as I could. I had to get good grades, so get into a good school, so then I could end up here talking to people about my life, Anyway, so I did this, I drew the periodic table of elements, and I had this awesome, like, color scheme. I don't remember any of it, but it was beautiful, and that's the kind of thing. In physics class, we had to do our own projects. So I was really into Martin Scorsese movies, so I was watching Raging Bull, and I was like, oh, well, a guy hits another guy, and then he falls down, so let me do it about boxing. I don't know, my logic somehow worked, and I tried to do my project that way. Anyway, and then biology, I had a teacher, and I remember I was in her room once, during lunch, and I was talking to a friend of mine about a dream I had, and, like, Sigourney Weaver was, like, telling me not to eat carrots or whatever, and it was, like, a really disturbing dream, and I was like, I got really into it, like, I get into this stuff, and And the teacher was concerned, and she was like, "You're not telling the truth, Delia X, that's my name." And I was just like, well, I was like, holy shit, man! Like this is school. This is where you're supposed to be learning people. I was like, oh my god, it just sucked, man. And the thing is, I skipped class only a few times. In college, I can remember skipping class maybe 4 times total.
Wow.
2 of them because I was sick and I literally could not get out of bed. The other 2 because I was working on work for a different class. What up is that? I should have been doing massive amounts of drugs and fucking a lot of people. But I wasn't. I wasn't because I thought, oh, I should be doing this. And it's like, it still continues, still doing what I think I should be doing because it's what, we're not given any, like, direction. The only direction we're not given a lot of directions at all. We're given a lot of choices about what to buy, and a lot of choices about who to be. Yeah. They don't say, I didn't take any fucking classes on gender. They weren't offered. They weren't like, hey, what's going on with you, kid? You're fucking crying all the time. Why don't you take a class and try to understand yourself and figure out what you want to do? No. Learn math, learn science, learn English, read these books. They're not saying, hey, why don't you read books that you want to read? Like, it makes me so angry because there's so much shit out there, yet it all gets filtered down, it all gets censored. And what we're left to choose from, or that even know exists. Like, we in the room, we might say, okay, we have access to libraries and the internet and all this stuff and each other. We still only probably know a fraction of what's out there. We're a fucking fraction, man. So, it's like, what the fuck? That's the price of education. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. This is why I can't even have kids. It's like, I don't know what I couldn't even afford to, like, take, I mean, what kind of school, like, who's teaching them and what the teacher's, like, motives are. Like, I mean, holy fuck. I don't even know what I would teach a kid. There's so much to learn. And I would want the kid to be like, hey, kid, like, before they could even talk, I'd be like, what do you want to do? Because you need to, I mean, we should all be asking ourselves, what do we want to do? Instead of just doing what we've been doing.
Yes.
All the time, like, if transitioning is the most radical thing I do in my life, I will be fucking pissed. Alright, thank you.